Kia ora everybody, Chris Fahey here, Bailey's Insights and Data Team. Sitting here with Ben Atwill from Bailey's Wellington Residential, chat about the Wellington market. Kia ora Ben, how are you?
Kia ora.
How you
Welcome.
going? Yeah, cheers man.
Welcome to Wellington.
Hey, so question right, is this Wellington on a good day?
This is Wellington on a perfect day.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely brilliant out there, sun shining, minimal wind.
Yep.
Can't get much better.
Yeah, no, super beautiful today, and we've obviously got a real cool location. So 31 McFarlane Street.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, so a great apartment alternative. We're sitting in 220 square metres, more or less, obviously, only on 133 land, so they've really maximised the site, gone up 3 levels, future-proof with an amazing lift. Yeah,
it's interesting, the renovation as well, like really nice quality. I think the lift is just that great little bonus if you, given the 3-level layout, just really cool to be able to get up and down super easy, and the view to die for.
Yeah, I mean the location itself too, being Mount Victoria, you're a hop and a skip into the CBD, but I think also, the home really is for that downsizer looking to, entertain, head out into the CBD and have this just as a ultra cool home base.
Yeah, no, it's super cool, and you can tell it's like pretty low maintenance. The other thing was how fast it was to get from the CBD to here.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool.
Hop and a skip.
Yeah, so look, if you do want to learn more, we'll chuck a link in the description and jump on and check it out. And so Ben, down in Wellington, right, figured we would have a chat around what's happening in the local market. And so I'm obviously from Auckland, right? So we've seen in the stats this big price correction come through the Wellington market. And that was obviously the story over, say, the past 18 months. But where are things at the moment? Like, what's the conditions like? How's the market tracking?
Yeah, the market's definitely turned quite sharply, I feel, or certainly the activity in the market.
Yeah.
Investors are back in and quite quickly since the change in government.
Was it just because we obviously had the government announcements like a week ago, or not even a week ago, right? So you've seen quite a sort of quick change.
Yeah, I think also with the government's announcement around that deductibility, that's brought everyone back in, and certainly a lot quicker than I think we all expected. For example, we have a small 2-bedroom investment property in Upper Hutt on the market at the moment. It's been on for quite some time. All of a sudden, within the last 24 hours, we've got 2 offers on the table, and in fact one of those offers has increased quite considerably since their initial offer over 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how the sentiment can change, and I guess with the changes to interest deductibility, that's some pretty big movements around the maths for an investment property. So you could see people jumping in before that market gets boosted and just becomes more expensive.
Yeah, and I think, the first home buyer market, we had certainly seen a change going back, say, 12 weeks ago, possibly a wee bit longer, but now the investors are coming back in, that sort of, those properties are being hotly contested, and we're seeing great results at auction as well under those scenarios. Look, I think that window is closing to sort of get the deal. I think there's still some opportunity out there if you're sort of moving a wee bit quicker. But you really do have to be focused on buying at the moment if you're going to get ahead of the market.
Yeah, I think that's right. Like, if you've been in the market over probably the last 18 months, things have been pretty relaxed, time frames and that. But I sort of track back to that period in like 2021, and to be fair, a lot of years prior where the majority of properties coming up, if they're going to auction, if you're not like ready to go, you're basically not buying.
No.
Yeah, and then sort of on the price movements, right? So we saw I think the house price index for Wellington dropped maybe 25% from peak. So I think it was the most extreme market for that. How do you think that's tracking at the moment? Or probably better question, was that consistent across all parts of the market, or is it sort of different pockets that got hit to different levels?
Yeah, I think maybe different pockets. The high-end properties, they sort of sat outside, I think, any interest rate
Yep.
fear. But then the sort of low to mid-range certainly slowed right down. And in fact, I suppose it provided a lot of opportunity for the lower end of the market, buyers in the lower end of the market, to come on board and try and snap up opportunities, which kind of kept prices okay. I mean, they weren't great, but they weren't dismal either. And then, of course, we started to see the first home buyer market increase in terms of their attendance. I think we went from something like 18%, 12, 18 months ago, and it's back up around, well, in fact, it's higher than our normal, around 33%, I think, reported.
It's been interesting, that first home buyer market. I think as well the rental markets across a lot of the major cities are pretty tight at the moment. And our theory is that's pushing the first home buyers, and now that investors are getting the interest deductibility, that should be like all good to go.
Yeah, I think so. And that will obviously push that mid-end of the market up as well, and certainly providing a lot of confidence with vendors. In fact, we've seen an increase of listings in the last 2 weeks, literally in Wellington, come onto the market. So I think there's definitely greater confidence coming in for vendors.
Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting time, right? And then so one of the other sort of aspects of the change in government is that there's this sort of vibe that maybe the workforce, public sector workforce, might reduce down a bit. What's your sort of thinking around how that would impact the market?
Yeah, I suppose traditionally when a Labor government came into Wellington, there was an expected increased demand. Last time National were in, I personally didn't see much of a change. I think net immigration numbers are up or expected certainly to increase. So Wellington, on average, receives about 10% of the total New Zealand increase.
Which, to be fair, if you take the migration stats, right, running at like 120,000, say 10%, it's like 12,000 people. There's probably like 3,000 or 4,000 homes that are needed.
And we've only got about 640 on the market at the moment. So, I don't know whether the reduction in the workforce will have a major impact. I think there's probably other factors that will...
Do you reckon it might be like one of those old like anecdotes that people run around with, but isn't actually really that big of a thing?
I think so. I think Wellington, yes, okay, it does have a considerable government workforce, but I think there's also a lot of contractors here as well. There's a lot of other areas that...
It's good tech industry as well.
Oh, great tech industry. And in fact, if you go into Lower and Upper Hutt, there are some amazing companies based out there that you wouldn't even know of, but they're international and they employ incredibly well. And even main companies like Resine or Trade Me, Xero, all here. So
it's interesting. So there'll be one to watch, but our sort of view as well is that it's one of those anecdotes that's probably people will jump on, but might not actually be that big of a thing.
I'd agree with that.
Well, cool. We'll wrap up in a second, but going back to this property, right? What's your favourite feature in here? Like if you were to pick one thing that stands out, probably other than the view.
I think that there's no lawn. To be honest, I mean, my weekends are very precious, and the minimal maintenance of this home is just exceptional. You are coming home, you're popping open a bottle of champagne, you're enjoying the evening, watching the sun go down, and not having to worry about the next morning with mowing the lawn. Just do life. Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for hosting us today.
No,
it's been
not at all.
Real nice to chat.
Thanks for coming down.
We'll wrap up here. So we'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Bye.